Hi, this is Josh Lawrence. I wanted to do another quick video for you on how to build a trellis for grapevines. Once you've done all your site and soil planning, now it's time for grape trellis construction. Even though your grapes won't really need the trellis right away, it's better to do it early because if you wait, you'll be digging right in the middle of your grapes, and that's not a good thing. Another added benefit to building a grape trellis early, before the grapes really need it, is that it will give you time to tighten any slack that may develop as your posts settle. The main idea of a grape trellis is to get your grapevine up off the ground. If you're in an area with cold early and late grape growing seasons, you'll want higher trellises to keep the grapes away from the colder air that tends to lie along the ground. In warmer areas, grape trellises are often constructed lower to the ground. There are a multitude of trellis systems employed all over the world. However, for this article I will focus just on the most widely used grape trellis systems. I won't be addressing grape arbors in this article, just vineyard-style trellis systems. Generally speaking, one-wire trellises are most widely used for raisin or table grape production. They are not used for fine wine grapes. The main issue with one-wire systems is that the new shooting canes have to droop from the wire. There is no second wire to tie the new canes to in order to prop them up. Consequently, this system isn't recommended for wine grape production. Here is an example of what a one-wire trellis looks like. It's an illustration. Just a post in the ground. The wire is 52 to 54 inches approximately off the ground. A two-wire trellis is the most common type of grape trellising system. The two-wire trellis system is a highly effective system because it gives the new canes an extra wire to be tied off on and room to grow. The height of the two wires from the ground can be varied based on your climate. For colder areas, you'd want them higher off the ground, as I said earlier, and for warmer areas, you would want them closer to the ground. The illustration below lists an average height of a two-wire trellis system. You can see the height to the first wire, and then there's about a foot in between the two wires. The three-wire trellis system is really an extension of the two-wire trellis system. It involves more work and time, but it does give flexibility to the grower. This is because the three-wire system gives the grower extra places to tie loose canes. The three-wire system is best suited for grape varieties that tend to sprawl. Hardware needed for constructing trellises. Stakes. You will need steel fence stakes in 7-foot lengths. Generally, steel stakes are preferred because they won't rot. However, there are many vineyards planted with wooden stakes. You should plant your stakes at least 2 feet into the ground. Of course, the most important aspect of the stakes is that they should be high enough to support the wires you intend to string for your growing area. End posts. The idea with end posts is that it provides an anchor at the end of each row to keep the tension on the wires and keep the end stakes from giving way due to excessive stress on the wire. End posts should be 6 to 8 inches in diameter. They typically are wooden posts. They should be treated with wood preservatives such as diesel oil. Each of the end posts should be 6 to 8 feet long with 3/4 of the length planted at an angle in the ground. See this photograph as an illustration or an example. You can see the end posts here planted at an angle in order to secure tension on the line or the wire. The wire, you'll want to use at least a 13 gauge high tensile strength wire. If you plan to plant very long rows, you might want to consider going to 11 or 12 gauge wire, which would be thicker and stronger. Staples. Use large galvanized staples to attach the wire to the stakes, but do not stake the staples all the way into the wood. You want to leave some space there. This is unless you are using steel stakes, in which case the steel stake will often come with wire fastening lips. It's important to note not to drive the staple down tightly onto the wire, as I was saying a minute ago. This can nick or break the wire if you do. This practice also won't allow you to tighten the wire from the end post, because the wire would be fixed to the wooden post if you're using wooden posts. Wire vise tensioners. You can see the wire vise tensioners if you go back to the previous photograph. They're between the end post and the final post in the row. These are devices used to control the tension in the wire. They firmly hold the wire from slipping and allow you to tighten the line at any time. That's it for this installment. Of course, there's much more in my Grape Growing Secrets mini course, which you can get immediately right on my website at howdoigrowgrapes.com. So if you want to learn how to grow thriving grape plants and produce loads of fat, juicy, great tasting grapes, just enter your name and email address in the form on the website. You'll get your first installment right away. Thank you for your time.